think I kind of have this wave going
Okay.
of I want to have this giant company and I want to host retreats where I still teach people
Oh,
about social media and I want to be the best.
yeah.
And so I have this whole wave. And then sometimes I think, or I could not stress myself out trying to do it all. And I could just like make enough money to do well in life. And
Mhm,
that's okay too.
mhm.
And it just kind of depends on how overwhelmed I am.
Welcome to another episode of the Building Well podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Magho, founder of Ahadi Creations, providing brand and website design and business consulting for female founders. This podcast is full of candid conversations with female entrepreneurs with the aim of sharing insights from their journeys while encouraging you to stay on yours. Let's dive in. So before we jump into the conversation, can you tell us what you do and who you help?
Sure. So I run a social media agency and we primarily help women owned small businesses, not just women owned, but that does tend to be a big part of our client base. And typically they're going to be businesses that are around, 500,000 to maybe 2 million in revenue. So they are kind of established. They've been around for a while and now they're ready to hand off their social media to somebody else and they don't want to micromanage it. We just take it off their plate. We do it all for them.
Very nice, very nice. How have you found most of your clients so far?
Actually, most of our clients come through Instagram.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes
So
sense.
Instagram is our number one. And
Okay,
then referrals is our second lead source.
okay, okay. And you're running ads on Instagram too, or organic?
All organic.
That's wonderful. How long you been doing
Yeah.
that?
So I launched Social Blueprint in January of 2024. So we've
Okay,
only been around for 2 years.
okay.
Yeah. So all organic through that.
But if you're doing so well, I'm sure it feels like it's been much longer. Like, okay, I guess I should just start. But that's great. I know you have a team, but
Mhm.
you manage other people's socials. So do you have a set person that manages your social?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Social Blueprint is basically treated as a client within my company. So I have a social
Okay.
media manager, I have an editor, I have an assistant. So all of our clients get all of that. Like 3 people are assigned to their account when they come on board, and my company is basically a client. So I go in, I approve content, I see the whole process from the client side, and then kind of what I tell clients too is, it's your account, it's your business. So I hop on and I post whatever I want to a story, or
Mhm.
maybe I want to post whatever I want to the feed. I'll go ahead and do that. That's totally fine. But I
Mhm.
do have a team that manages my day-to-day content too.
Are you posting multiple times a day?
No, I honestly, and this is kind of what shocks most people, I post 3 times a week.
Okay.
That's it. Sometimes, if I'm feeling really inspired, I'll post 5 times a week if I'm just in the groove, but
Yeah.
never, never do I post 7 days a week. And my
Okay.
account grows by at least 500 followers a month, but sometimes, much more than that.
Very cool. So what else are you doing for visibility outside of Instagram? Or is it just
Mm.
Instagram? That's it.
I mean, we also have a presence on every other platform. So
Okay.
TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. They're not huge lead gen sources for
Okay.
us yet. We've had a few people come from TikTok, which is cool, but Instagram's just our main one. And I think it's because a lot of business owners start on Instagram. That's
True.
just the first thing they think of. So that's where
Hmm.
we find them. I occasionally will send out emails to people on my email list, and I try to keep them with something that's really helpful,
Yeah.
but it's not very consistent. It really is social media for me. I don't run
Cool.
ads. I don't really
Okay.
do that much else.
That's great. So clearly you're doing it for yourself, so that's why you can help others. Very
Yeah,
nice.
exactly.
Was there, so I don't know your history before this, but is there something that, unless you want to share what you did before?
Yeah.
What'd you do
I did
before you had this?
I did social media before
Okay,
I
okay.
dove into this. Yeah, so this has been my career path. I started in operations actually, and then kind of fell into marketing in 2020. I started traveling with my husband. He's a nurse. We traveled during the whole pandemic, and he went from hospital to hospital, and I couldn't find a job in operations that was remote because at that point things were starting to transition to remote, but most companies kind of just shut down. They didn't just automatically transfer. So I had a lot of trouble finding a job in operations, and the only thing I could find was in social media. So I applied for that and fell into that.
When you started and then, you had your own business, was there a part of the marketing or showing up on Instagram that felt uncomfortable, or was it easy for you from the beginning?
By the time I started my business, it was so easy. And that's because when I got my first job in social media, I started my own social media account because I was so nervous to mess up the company's account. So I thought, well, I'll just mess up my own. Like it wasn't my personal, it was just, well, I'll just share kind of where we travel or something and see what I can do with it. And that actually grew to over 10,000 followers. And I started working with brands and I started traveling for free, which I don't recommend. If you're going to travel for somebody, make them pay you.
Compensation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But then I started learning. I started learning how to make money from it. And by the time I finally opened my own agency, I'd been on social media for years. I've been doing it on the business side, and then I also did it on the influencer side. So I got to see both. They're very different, but a lot of the ways my agency personally mixes them together because that's my experience and I like doing it that way. And I think it makes your content more fun than just the typical company salesy content.
You're somewhat new with your business. Is there something that didn't work that you thought would in the process of you building?
Oh, yeah. So I actually started this company because I wanted to do more of a consulting role. So I wanted to teach other really small business owners, so smaller than the market that we're working with now, how to do their own social media. So like you just opened your company, you don't have the budget to bring on staff, right? Or to hire an agency. I'm going to work with you. I'm going to show you how to do it yourself. That was my goal. And then I set it all up. The more people I talked to, the more business owners that came on said, but I don't have time. I don't want to do it myself. Can you just do it? And I fought it and I said, no, no, no. And then eventually I said, well, if this is what the people want, we're just going to go in that direction. And that's what happened.
Got it. Okay. But it's working well so far. So that's good.
Yeah.
What metric matters to you most right now?
On social media or in business?
With business.
What matters to me most is conversion rates from different lead sources and down different funnels. So I'm a huge analytics nerd. I actually prefer to look at data over like the creative side of social media. And so in my business, I'm the same. I like setting up funnels and I like setting up different landing pages and just seeing, okay, does this one convert better than this one? If someone comes from social media versus from my website, which converts better? And I mean, plot twist, it's Instagram. Like they feel like they know me already, so they're more likely to convert when they hit my lead page anyway, which is cool. So kind of diving into those analytics I really like.
Okay. What do you use like for your landing pages, all the tech that helps you keep things running?
I use not as much as I think a lot of people do, but it feels like a lot. So Go High Level is my CRM, landing page, analytics, all of that. My goal is to basically transition everything into High Level.
Okay.
And then for project management, I use Asana. And then we have just software for social media, which is Rella, and Google Drive is kind of our home base for storing everything.
Okay. Yeah, Go High Level has everything, just about, so I can see why you'd move there. Very cool. And what about AI? Are you integrating? Well, Go High Level has somewhat of it in there too, but are you integrating in other areas other than that CRM?
I am. We integrate it with creating personas for our clients. So basically, when somebody
Hmm.
comes on board with us, we have a very lengthy onboarding process, but we send them a form and we say, fill all of this out. And then we put that and their website and anything we know about them, their social media, any other presence they have into our specifically social media AI software because it's just better. It's trained on social media, unlike ChatGPT, which is just trained with everything, right? And we put it in there and we have it create a whole persona with content guidelines, brand voice, blah, blah, blah. So our team is still manually saying, well, this is trending right now.
Hmm.
Here's how we're going to make it work for the client.
Hmm.
But we basically then have that AI system that can say, well, this is in line with their personality and their
Hmm.
persona and like everything we've come up with them. This is out of scope. And then we can kind of refine all the content that way.
Nice. So you say you have a lengthy onboarding process. I'm big on onboarding and flows.
Hmm.
So how do you keep it as streamlined as possible or make them as happy as they can be while they have to do it? What do you do?
This is something that we are working through right now.
Okay.
So one thing that has worked really well for us, because we use Asana for our project management, is I created a project template in Asana, and it's literally called Onboarding Social Media Management Clients. And it has 5 million steps to it. We broke everything down, and then we created basically templates of everything. I created, 30-second videos of how do we set up their
Mhm.
social space? How do we do this? How do we do this? Right.
Mhm.
So it was a long process, but basically it just makes sure that nothing is getting skipped throughout the whole process. So the project is created, it's assigned to whoever it's supposed to go to, whether it's the manager, the assistant, the editor, and then they make sure that everything is done. Then we have a whole onboarding presentation. It's already templated, but it's filled in specifically for every client. And that's what we present to the client. And we say, do you like these ideas? Do we need to change anything? And then we have another kind of onboarding phase with our social media software. So that the client isn't really involved in that, but we do show them how to access their calendar, how to see all of their ideas, and how to approve everything. So we just went through and basically put a whole standard operating procedure together, all these
Okay.
projects and the videos and everything to
Mm.
try to move the process along,
Yeah.
make sure nothing gets left out, and then also keep the client in the loop because with us, it can take 4 to 6 weeks to actually start posting on somebody's account. And if you don't touch base with the client after they pay you for a month, that does
It's
not
a little
look good.
scammy. It's a little scammy.
Yeah.
So how do you contact? Do you use Slack or email or what to stay connected with your clients?
With our clients, it's all through email and
Mm.
through our social media platform. So where they go and approve content, they can also leave ideas and they can
Really?
leave revisions and notes, whatever,
Okay.
in there. And then emails is the main way that they contact us. But we also have a monthly call with them where we basically
Okay,
just say,
good.
here's how everything's going,
Mhm.
what's coming up in your business, because
Mhm.
basically what happens is they forget until the week before. And then we say, there's not enough time. Like, we
Mhm.
can't put something together for you with this much notice, which is really unfortunate, but it is the case. And so we like those calls to say, what is coming up this month? We want to make sure we include it before, it gets here and then we don't have time to do anything for you.
Okay. When listening to stories just like this one thing that truly stands out to me is how much clarity and doing what lights you up truly impacts growth. If you're in a place where your business has grown, but your brand or online presence really hasn't caught up, that's exactly what I help my clients refine. You can learn more at ahadicreations.com. Okay. I remember too, you had mentioned or selected that you're stepping into a new level of responsibility or visibility in business. Can you tell us a little bit about
Yes.
that?
Yes, I am trying to remove myself from the day-to-day
Okay.
operations in the company.
Okay.
My goal is to be higher level thinking. So actually leading the company, leading the
Yeah.
team, basically up until now, which I think is every entrepreneur's struggle, is that you are your business.
Yeah.
And then eventually you have enough money to hire somebody else, but people still think that you are the
Yes.
business, right?
Yes. Hmm.
And so I'm trying to incorporate more of my team on my social media platforms because that's how we're found. I'm trying to put more of their pictures on the website to show it's not
Yes.
just me
Yes. Mm-hmm.
because I have a lot of sales calls where people will hop on and say, well, I'll come on board, but only if you run my
Yeah.
social media.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I say, I don't even run my own social media.
Mm-hmm. Well, for one, that's
Yeah.
cute.
So
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think that helps them too, because normally they came to me because
Mm-hmm.
of my social media. And when I say I have basically no say in that, my
Right.
manager tells me what to do. That
Right.
helps a lot. So I'm trying to
Okay.
step out of that. I'm trying to have my team trained to run things on their own so that
Yes.
I can then come up with different ideas and different ways to do things because I'm a huge research person. I want to be
Okay.
the person that's saying, this changed, we need to change along with it, or
Okay.
this new feature just came out, let's start using it for our clients. And when you're stuck in the day to day, it's really
Right.
hard to do that.
Right. That's true. Yeah. And that's a good way to start too, putting them more on socials, putting them on your website so they know from one, it's not just you. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lately I've been loving seeing I'm a hobbyist photographer and I love seeing lately the team photography because they've come up
Yeah.
with some really nice, other than what they used to have years ago when it was just, the group picture. I'm loving, the action, the dynamics together. Everyone has their own personality in the picture. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have y'all had a shoot yet together or?
We
Mhm.
have.
Okay.
What's really cool is we do a monthly content day if you're in Austin, and it's one of the ways to see what it's like to work with a social media team without the huge price tag and without the commitment. But you just come to a day, our team manages everything. But we have a photographer that comes. She's not
Mhm.
with Social Blueprint, but we partner with her and we love her and she's amazing. And she photographs my life now. Like she's my go-to person in business and personally.
Mhm.
She comes along and then because she gets paid per client that signs up and we market it and came up with it. She always just takes a few shots of our team working and behind
Cool.
the scenes.
Mhm.
So we do have those pictures, which is really cool. And then our last brand photo shoot, I had just hired somebody and I had her come. So, I mean, it's
Okay.
just me and her, but
Mhm.
now we're kind of showing the other people in the photos
Yes.
too.
Nice. Nice. Okay, well that's exciting. That is the process, but it's good that you also said you recently did your SOPs, so that it's gonna help you kind of leave, fully
Yes.
leave.
Yes. That
Okay.
is the dream of mine. I am
Mm.
because I was starting in operations. I love SOPs.
Mhm,
That is
mhm.
my jam.
Yes.
And people always think I'm kidding when I say that. And I'm like, no, I love
No,
it.
no,
I'll
I agree.
say it
Yeah, yeah,
until
yeah. I
midnight.
also like stuff like that. Yes.
So I'm
Cool.
excited to actually have the time to do all of those. I think I did
Yeah.
6 this weekend and it
Oh
was
wow.
so fulfilling.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever puts a smile there. That's good. So, with all of that, have you noticed your definition of success shifting a little bit with the with every all the changes you're making and your thought process with how you want things to go?
I think I kind of have this wave going
Okay.
of I want to have this giant company and I want to host retreats where I still teach people
Oh,
about social media and I want to be the best. And so I have this whole wave and then sometimes I think or I
okay.
could not stress myself out trying to do it all and I could just like make enough money to do well in life. And
Mhm,
that's okay too.
mhm.
And it just kind of depends on how overwhelmed I am. If I'm
Sure.
really overwhelmed in the business and I just want to burn everything down, then I typically say, why am I trying so hard? Like, as long as I make enough money to just have fun, but also pay all my bills, that's okay.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
then the next day I say, no, I'm going to shoot for the stars.
mhm.
I'm going to
Yes,
do
yes,
it
yes.
all.
Yes.
So I don't
That
know.
might follow our hormones. Okay. So that's good.
That too. That
Yes, yes. Okay, so is there anything you've had to let go of as you've been scaling to keep you moving forward, either in business or personally, like a personality trait or something along those lines?
yes. I am a huge control freak.
Mm.
I have yet to meet a business owner that is not, to be honest.
This is true. This is why we started because we want to do what we want to do.
Yeah. I was like, everyone else was doing it wrong. I could do it better, so I'm just going to do it myself.
Mhm.
And that
Maybe
is a
that's the
really
first
hard thing.
requirement of entrepreneurship first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been really, really hard. So I
Yeah.
am somebody who, like, if I go in to check how my team is doing and I see an idea, I'll just be like, well, I'll just tweak it real fast. Like, I'll just fix it. I'll just make it a little bit better instead of training them or instead of
Yes.
telling them. Like,
Exactly.
I'll
Yeah.
just take it on myself and do it all,
Mhm.
which I
Mhm.
shouldn't do. And so
Yes.
that's been something I've been working through. Is like, okay, maybe I do need to meet with the team more often. I need to walk them through why I would choose to do this versus this so
Mhm.
that they can do it better in the future. And I need to just lay off, but
Yeah.
also like, this is social media. We're not saving people's lives. It's
Yes.
not life or death. Like, I
Right.
need to just also calm down a little bit in that
Yeah.
respect. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as the client loves it, it's fine. And I had to let go of that too, where my first few clients were very hands off. And they were very just, yeah, we trust you, post whatever you want. But then we now have some that are not. And I have to just say, you know what? It's
Do it
not how
yourself.
I would do it.
Why are we here? Yeah, I get it.
I feel that, but I just have to tell
Mhm.
myself over and over, it's their account
Yeah.
and okay. Like, if
Mhm.
they are just dead set on, if I've explained my side and they are dead
Yes.
set,
Yeah.
okay.
That's same. Cause like I've had some branding clients and they have the guidelines. They know what they should
Mm,
do. We went over this, but then you see some things. It's like, oh, well, okay. Well, hey, okay. No problem.
yep.
Glad I could help. It's no problem.
Yep. It's so
Yeah.
much easier to just say, all right. Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Is there something that you've changed in your business that you saw, okay, this made a good difference in our business. This was a good shift. This was a good change or an addition.
Yeah. I think the first thing that comes to mind is when I first launched, I kind of just said yes to everything, every client, every ask.
Hmm.
And as the business grew and as I brought on a team, I learned that specializing would actually help me grow faster and
Hmm.
better. I would
Yeah.
learn more. I could do it better if I was able to just kind of focus on one thing. And then I think there's kind of the thing of once you get bigger, then you can add on more things and you have the capacity for that versus trying to do way too much at the beginning.
Hmm.
So I had to make that shift. But that was really, really beneficial to say, you know what, I'm getting rid of every service except for social media management. And then now I've reached a tier that I've decided to add some things back on because I
Okay.
can,
Hmm.
but I
Hmm.
couldn't in the beginning do that for everybody.
Hmm. So you've added the consulting part of it, or
Not
no?
yet.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Okay. Okay. It's pending. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Um, if you were, so it's been about 2 years that you've been in business. What's something that you would tell yourself if you could have a conversation with yourself when you started? What encouragement would you give? Or what real advice would you say to yourself?
I would say to charge more,
Mm,
way more than I thought I should be charging.
mm,
I think that as an entrepreneur, at least for me, I came on and I said, well, this is what I was paid hourly to do this job.
mm,
So maybe I'll just like bump it up a few bucks and that'll be good.
mhm,
But then you get to the point where your capacity is completely full and you don't have the money to hire help.
yeah,
And then you're stuck. And it's basically exactly where you were. And if you start and you don't plan that, hey, I need a really healthy profit margin so that I can begin to bring people on as soon as I need them, maybe even before I need them, and
mhm,
still have that profit left over. I mean, that's just going to make everything so much easier. And then
yeah,
I also heard from somebody that, like, if you are undervaluing yourself, if you're undercharging, that's the kind of client that you're
mhm,
attracting. You know,
absolutely. Hmm.
there's people out there who are going to see that and say, oh, They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay way more because I know that someone who's going to charge me that much money knows what's going on. And I have continually had too low of prices. And now I feel like things are better, but it was hard. And then you have to have those really awkward conversations of we're raising your price.
Yes.
And that sucks.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for that. Is this your only work, or do you have another side business? Like, are you juggling a 9 to 5, or is this your main job?
This is what I do full time.
Okay. So what does a week look like for you between work and balancing maybe life or whatever you juggle in your day to day?
It is always a little bit different, which I kind of like.
Okay.
So a lot of team management, project management. I probably meet with my kind of like second in command twice a week for 30 minutes. It's normally not scheduled. It's just we end up having to meet to talk about stuff, and it's about twice a week. I film every week for my business for social media.
What do you mean? Tell me what you mean.
I have a content shoot day every Tuesday. Okay. So I do my hair and I do my makeup, and that's basically the only day of the week that it's
I've
done.
heard that, like batching your content so when you're done up. Yeah, that's how we should do. Yeah.
Yep. So I get ready on Tuesdays. I batch whatever my social media manager told me to make for that. Well, not for that week, right? But for weeks that are upcoming. And ideally, I would say batch your content once a month. It's so much better. But unfortunately, my series that is growing my account is not one that I can batch. I have to do it every single week. So we're stuck in that for right now, but that's okay because it's working. So that's okay. And then if we have content shoots, I mean, our team and or me, if I'm the manager for the account, flies or drives to all the content shoots for our clients. So there will be months we have 11 content shoots and we're flying and going to different cities and different states. Okay. And then there's months, like March coming up only has 4.
Okay. Take some breathing room.
Really nice. So about, once a week, and that's a little bit more manageable. So if we have content shoots, it's just a crazy, crazy month. But if we don't, then we have the time to actually get ahead, to plan more content, to do the strategy and the analytics. And it's a little bit different every single week, but I like it that way.
Okay. Very nice. Keeps you on your toes.
Yes.
In what areas of your life would you say that you're choosing peace over pressure? Pressure to do more, pressure to do this, pressure to do that.
I am really, really bad at that. Just in general. Okay. I am a go person. I find it very, very hard to relax and do nothing. But I have started doing yoga and more workout classes. Okay. And that's because I can't go dancing anymore because I injured myself the last time.
We won't talk about it.
So now I've switched over to more gentle,
softer
things. Yes. And that's been really helpful. I went to a restorative yoga class because I was having a day. It was a burn my business to the ground kind of day. Okay. And the only class that was left was restorative yoga, and I've never done it before. And I thought, well, I'm just going to try it out. Let's just go. It's the only one at my studio. And it was so hard because you just lay there
and do nothing
for so long. And I thought, this is, I'm not upset that I came, but I wouldn't come back.
Sure.
And I was really struggling to focus. And then about 45 minutes into the class, I just started crying out of nowhere. And I felt so much better. And I thought, you know what? I think there is something to this.
Yeah. Some personalities, which I think is common in entrepreneurs, similar to when you said we like to control things, is we have a wall because you need to handle this, especially if you have a team like you're used to. We bury it back there. Sometimes we just need a good cry.
Yeah. And it was great. And I thought, okay, you know what? I would come back. I thought, if this is going to help, I didn't know that that's what was going to happen, but I'm here for it. And my instructor afterwards said, yeah, that's actually pretty common. And I said, okay, great. So that is kind of the only thing that has been helping take my mind off of things because it's
Okay.
just been a very, very crazy month.
Okay. Okay. And then you have a month coming up where you have less going on travel wise. So hopefully you'll get some more
Yes,
breathing space then. Okay. Okay.
hopefully.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your journey and what you're going through and how you're changing. We appreciate it. For the listener, how can they connect with you if they want to follow your journey and learn more about you and what you do?
So any social platform, my handle is going to be Social Blueprint LLC. That is also my website. Just add .com at the end of it. But Instagram is going to be the one that I am on the most.
Most. Mhm.
So I would reach me there.
Okay. And we'll have everything in the show notes, of course. But thank you so much for
Great.
joining today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. The links to connect with today's guest can be found in the show notes, as well as all the links that were mentioned and any resources that will benefit you from today's episode. Check out the show notes that you'll find linked below this episode. You can also visit ahadicreations.com, AHADI creations.com/podcast for the show notes as well. If anything resonated with you today, leave a review. Let us know what your takeaways were. What are you going to implement? Be sure to also follow along wherever you prefer to listen to your podcast so that you don't miss the next one with us. Thank you so much. And always remember, together we can build.